Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Marc Márquez's first season with Ducati Lenovo could hardly have ended better. Just days after securing the 2025 MotoGP World Championship, Ducati CEO Claudio Domenicali praised the Spaniard's impact and celebrated the brand's fourth consecutive rider's crown. With Marquez adding to Pecco Bagnaia's double and Jorge Martín's 2024 triumph, Ducati's golden era shows no signs of slowing down. Fresh off sealing his 9th world title in Japan, Marc Márquez barely had time to let it sink in before boarding a flight to Indonesia. Arriving in Mandalika as the new MotoGP World Champion, the Ducati Lenovo rider admitted the emotions of the past 3 days have been overwhelming. Meanwhile, teammate Pecco Bagnaia also rediscovered the taste of victory in Motegi, determined to carry momentum into the season's final 5 rounds. The debate over Marc Márquez's place in MotoGP history intensified after his 9th world title in Japan. One of his fiercest rivals in the past, Jorge Lorenzo, has weighed in, and his verdict is clear. For Lorenzo, Marquez is already the greatest of all time. In a recent conversation with Ruben Zaz, the 3-time MotoGP champion broke down exactly why he believes the Ducati rider's story of resilience and dominance sets him apart from legends of other eras. The idea of Marc Márquez one day returning to Honda is a scenario many fans dream about. But is it realistic? After the Spaniard's latest world title with Ducati, speculation has grown about whether Marquez could close the circle with HRC. Honda team boss Alberto Puig has now addressed the subject, balancing emotion with pragmatism, and making clear that while a reunion is not on the cards today, he won't completely rule it out. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Ducati has now claimed 4 straight MotoGP World titles, cementing its status as the sport's dominant force. Domenicali framed the achievement as the result of a blend of talent and relentless preparation. The story continues, and what an incredible story we're writing! For years as world champions show that when skill, passion, and dedication align, the extraordinary becomes possible. The CEO stressed that success may appear effortless from the outside but is built on tireless work behind the scenes. Domenicali highlighted the meticulous processes underpinning Ducati's consistency, from planning and simulations to data analysis and strategic refinement. It may look easy on track, but months of preparation, engine adjustments, and race strategy details all come together to give our riders the tools to perform. His message was clear: domination is not luck, but the fruit of discipline and innovation. Ducati's latest champion adapted seamlessly to the set-aside GP, vindicating both the team's gamble and his decision to leave Honda. With Marc, the process was natural. From the first race, he confirmed what we expected, and often exceeded our predictions. Extraordinary talent and our passionate, precise work pushed each other forward. Marquez's ability to blend into the Ducati ecosystem transformed expectations into reality at remarkable speed. Japan was the perfect backdrop for Ducati's double joy, Marquez's title secured, and Bagnaia delivering victory in both sprint and race. Pecco's win made the weekend even more special. Seeing his smile while celebrating the rider's title will remain in our memories as proof of Ducati's collective strength. It was a snapshot of the team's depth, not just a single champion, but multiple contenders at the top. Domenicali closed by thanking Ducati Corsa's staff, partners and suppliers, underlining the collective nature of success. He praised Gigi Dall'Igna's leadership and reiterated his vow to keep pushing forward. This machine works because every element gives its all. We promised Ducatistas we would never settle, and today we've proved our passion and commitment are more than words, they're results. Ducati's sustained dominance has been as much about culture and leadership as about engineering brilliance. Marc Márquez may have been the headline act, but Domenicali's remarks reminded the world that Ducati's empire is built on more than one superstar. With teamwork, vision, and relentless drive, the Italian factory continues to set the benchmark, and Marquez's arrival has only added fresh fuel to the dynasty. Marquez revealed how intense the aftermath of his title-clinching weekend has been. The celebration, the emotions, and the sense of calm after years of hardship gave him a rare moment of peace. The last 72 hours have been simply incredible. Sunday was a day I will always remember. There were very emotional moments, full of joy and peace, Marquez said. Titles come and go, but this one carries a special weight. A return to the top after surgeries, doubts, and the gamble of switching to Ducati. Despite the whirlwind, Marquez insists the focus now shifts to the upcoming Indonesian GP, where Ducati is close to sealing the team's championship as well. He sees the emotions as fuel, not distraction. He said arriving in Mandalika full of those feelings gives an extra boost to stay focused and give everything for the team. Champions often speak of calm after the storm, but Marquez blends serenity with razor-sharp motivation, a sign he isn't easing off just yet. While Marquez celebrated the title, Pecco Bagnaia quietly broke his win drought. He triumphed in both the sprint and the GP in Motegi, ending months of frustration. In Japan, everything was practically perfect, even with a bit of suspense at the end. I'm very happy because, thanks to the work of the entire team, we managed to return to the top positions, Bagnaia said. For Bagnaia, the victories were about more than points. They were about restoring confidence and reasserting himself alongside Marquez in Ducati Red. Bagnaia admitted the road back wasn't simple, describing the very difficult moments that made his Motegi double all the more rewarding. He confessed the difficulties had tested him deeply, but the win showed resilience and the power of teamwork. Ducati's strength is its depth. Even when one rider claims the crown, the other can still deliver when the setup clicks. With 5 weekends left, Bagnaia refuses to settle. He's targeting maximum points to climb higher in the standings, while Marquez chases more wins to cap off a golden year. Now we have 5 race weekends left. Let's enjoy them, work hard, and try to recover as many points as possible in the standings. Both Ducati men arrive in Mandalika with different goals. Marquez already champion, Bagnaia in recovery mode, but together they aim to deliver Ducati the team title. Marc Márquez lands in Indonesia as MotoGP's newest champion, still basking in the glow of a dream comeback but already locking focus on Mandalika. Pecco Bagnaia, revived after Motegi, looks ready to fight again. For Ducati, the story isn't over. 5 rounds remain, and so does the hunger to dominate as a team. Jorge Lorenzo didn't hesitate to label Marquez the GOAT, stressing that no teammate has ever truly beaten him, a contrast, he notes, to Rossi. In my opinion, Marquez is already the best rider in history. He always beat his teammate. No teammate ever beat him. That was the case with Rossi. Some years his teammate has beaten him. For example, Vinales. Lorenzo's comparison is clear. While legends like Rossi and Agostini had their moments, Marquez's consistency in the modern ultra-competitive era gives him the edge. Lorenzo contextualized Marquez's achievements by pointing out how MotoGP today is more competitive than in the past, where machinery gaps were wider. For Lorenzo, winning now means beating riders of nearly equal machinery, and Marquez's ability to dominate despite disparity proves his greatness. Beyond numbers, Lorenzo highlighted Marquez's technical brilliance and completeness as a rider. He believes that without injury setbacks, Marc would already have multiple more titles. From Honda's struggles to Ducati triumphs, Lorenzo sees a rider capable of adapting, overcoming, and still excelling. Lorenzo analyzed Marquez's Japan weekend, noting a rare mix of speed and restraint. Lorenzo suggests Marc's approach was deliberate, avoiding mistakes at all costs to clinch the championship in Japan. The Mallorcan insisted that this 9th crown carried unique importance for Marquez, both personally and historically. For Marquez, this wasn't just another title, it was redemption. Lorenzo also addressed Pecco Bagnaia's inconsistent form before his Motegi breakthrough, empathizing with the Italian's struggles. "I was a defender of the ugliness Pecco was experiencing. When a rider doesn't trust the bike, something is wrong, and with a very sensitive rider like him, it's difficult to get results. When everything is right, he's competitive." Lorenzo drew from his own 18-year career, noting that even great champions hit rough patches. For him, Bagnaia never stopped trying, and Motegi proved his resilience. Jorge Lorenzo's verdict is firm. Marc Márquez is already the greatest in MotoGP history. Technical brilliance, unmatched consistency against teammates, resilience through injury, and a newfound maturity make the Ducati rider unique. At the same time, Lorenzo offered perspective on Bagnaia's comeback, showing that in MotoGP, form is fleeting, but greatness, as Marquez has just proven again, endures. Marquez's relationship with Honda is legendary. 6 MotoGP titles and 11 seasons together. Puig admits the idea of him returning is special, but timing and age complicate the picture. "It would be a dream, something special. But you have to take into account age and many other things. To think about it now is absurd, but I don't rule it out. As a concept, it's great, but it's hard to imagine now." Puig strikes a balance, acknowledging how historic a comeback would be, but framing it as an unlikely near-term reality. The conversation comes just as both sides enjoy breakthroughs. Marquez sealed his 7th Premier Class crown, his first since 2019, while Honda returned to a MotoGP podium for the first time in 2 years. Joan Mir's 3rd place at Motegi was proof of progress for the RC213V, a machine that pushed Marquez out in 2023. Meanwhile, Marc's Ducati dominance shows that his story of redemption is complete, which only fuels speculation about unfinished business with HRC. MotoGP's major rules shake-up in 2027 will reset the grid, making rider contracts expiring in 2026 crucial. Marquez and Honda could be aligned again at that crossroads. Marquez's Ducati deal runs until the end of 2026. Honda's current factory pairing of Joan Mir and Luca Marini are also out of contract then, making the Spaniard the biggest name in the rider market just as the new technical era begins. Beyond Marquez, Honda is already positioning itself as a key player. Jorge Martín was a target this year, and Moto2 talent Diogo Moreira is expected to join the project from 2026. Puig and HRC are building a long-term strategy. Johan Zarco will remain with LCR until 2027, while Jorge Martín, the 2024 champion, remains in the picture for a factory seat despite staying with Aprilia for now. Marquez, though, remains the ultimate "what if?" Puig labels the idea absurd in the present, but history has shown MotoGP careers rarely follow predictable paths. Marquez himself has said he always values the team that shaped him, and Honda continues to hold a powerful emotional pull. If the RC213 versus development trajectory continues and the 2027 rules shuffle the deck, a Honda/Marquez reunion might not be as far-fetched as Puig suggests. For now, Marc Márquez is a Ducati champion, Honda is rebuilding with new momentum, and talk of a reunion feels premature. Yet Alberto Puig's words leave the door ajar. Dreams and reality often diverge in MotoGP, but with contracts expiring in 2026 and a new era starting in 2027, one of the sport's most iconic partnerships may not be entirely finished. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!